Hello and welcome to my guide for making a lakeside log cabin as seen here using the new building system. So this is the final product. I'm going to start from scratch and just talk you through absolutely everything, show you how to build every single piece of what you're seeing here. It's also fully furnished inside, so it is very functional. You can use this as a base as well, a place to sleep, rest and store your equipment. This is going to be a big project, so let's get started. So first things first, this is where I am on the map if you want to be here as well. Just thought this was a lovely location, also built here previously. So the cave over there is where you get the rope gun, the cave over there is where you get the shovel. So I'm kind of by this mini lake. You can see there's like 4 streams on the map that come in and then one that goes out. So I'm just building around here. I would recommend probably making a fire first and a shelter just so you can tend to your needs quite easily as you're building. I would make some log storage and just place them near the trees so that Kelvin can get chopping and automatically put them in. So we're going to get a good few of these in because we're going to need loads of logs. Oh my god, Kelvin, is that cozy? So you want to tell him to get logs and now you can say fill the holder. That's what you want to do. Kind of want to clear the area where we want to build as well. So I'm going to make my cabin probably here. So I'm going to start clearing all these trees. You can also just throw these in roughly near the log holders and they will automatically kind of snap in, which is really useful. Cool, now I think I actually have cleared a big enough area for the cabin today, so what I'm going to do, I would recommend maybe placing some logs on the floor as your basic foundations, just see if you have enough room to work with here. So I want to go as close to the water as possible for this one. Whoops, that's dangerous. In fact, I think what would be lovely is maybe it's overhanging the water ever so slightly. Yeah, getting right up to that water's edge. So now I can see the rough shape that I want and I can see that it is going to fit. So I am going to start placing in some pillars. So I'm basically just using this shape here as a guide. So I'm going to place a pillar in this corner. So what I'm going to do, I am actually going to remove these logs. So the corner was about here. So if you look down and right click, you'll change to the pillars instead. So I'm going to put that one there. And now basically we just want to replicate the shape of this outside. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this. And now the great thing is, now that I've got the first one in, when you look around and see this dashed line, that's going to be the perfect distance for building, for supporting your structure. So what we're going to do, we're just going to bring this one down this way, like this. And yeah, we're just going to replicate exactly where these were before. Going to remove these and just keep placing in the new support beams in the same locations. And there we go, there's the basics of our foundation. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to fill in the gaps here. Again, just look where the dashed lines are so that they connect perfectly. This will be fantastic for supporting your foundation later. Just fill in all the gaps in the middle, essentially. And there we have it. There's our foundations. So I'm going to build the lodge on top of these, but I don't want the lodge this tall. So what you can do now, this is personal preference. You can do it wherever you want. So you can leave it as it is, and you can do a staircase or a ramp going up to your lodge. I'm going to trim these down. So you can go for 3/4, half, or quarter, depending on how high you want your floor level to be. So in this instance, I'm going to go for half logs. So if you just look around till you get the red dash line and chop away, I think that's going to be a good floor height for what I'm after, so I'm just going to go around and do exactly the same for all of these. Kelvin! Close call there. Kelvin can be a hindrance sometimes more than a help. Right, there we go. They're all done. So now you'll notice you'll be left with a lot of these on the floor. They're a bit of an eyesore. And also, we might actually use them later in some other parts of the building. So what you can do, you can throw them to the side, or if you want them to be more in place so they don't roll away, you can just slap them in the ground. You can also stack them here like this. So that's all my half logs thrown out. So now you can kind of see it's taking shape. So what the plan is, this row here that I'm running down at the moment is going to be the outside porch. These 2 rows here are going to be inside the cabin itself, and that's all going to be walled off with a roof. So what we want to do, basically we're going to have floor on all of this, so we're going to get cracking with the outside structure. So what we're going to do, we're just going to place support beams absolutely everywhere across this whole thing. So like I'm doing at the moment, if you just look between them, it's very intuitive. You can see where you want to put the beams. You can also look down if you want to make a ramp, which we will do later for a staircase, but we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Let's just get the support beams in first, across the entire structure. You can see why we needed all those logs now, and we're going to need a heck of a lot more. So Kelvin, chop chop, quite literally. Okay, beautiful. There's our foundations. Very supported now. You can see where we want to place the floor. We're going to place it all across here. I am going to do that in the morning. It's going dark. So definitely make sure to work during the day so you can see what you're doing. Makes things a lot easier. Lovely. It is 6:30 in the morning. Tend to my needs and we will get back to it. So, because this all needs to be floored today, we're just going to get cracking on with the floor. So, if you look down here, you'll see that you're going to split a log into 2 planks. You can also right click to change the direction. Personal preference. We'll go this way. So, if you just left click then, split it into 2 planks and place them down. So, what we're going to do now, all of this surface is just going to be covered in floor. So, let's get cracking. Again, quite literally, these puns are not intended, I promise. If you can only place one like here, you will actually throw the other plank down, but that's fine. You can just go and grab that and place that somewhere else, as such. Lovely view as we're doing this. Last few pieces. Whoops. You can just remove them holding C, the dismantle button. I would always recommend dismantling things in this game as opposed to just breaking them to destroy things, because you can actually destroy the structural integrity of your base. Sometimes if it doesn't wiggle like this, it means that it's a key part of the structure and removing it could make it collapse. So always dismantle over brute force. Well, there we go. There's our floor completed, looking amazing. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually put in the staircase at the front, which is going to go up to the front porch. Just to save me jumping around so much. I've been jumping up here continually. Save my legs. So if you come over here, because we don't have a support beam here, like if you had a beam here, you could actually like place this down. But because we don't have a beam here at the moment, we can only place this to the ground, which is great. That's exactly what you want to do in this instance. Because now we're going to put a staircase along this. So how you do this, if you just get some regular old logs, now that our beams are in. So if you look here, you'll actually see the icon to split the logs into planks again. The only issue is if we do this, we're going to make a ramp. Which you could have if you wanted, but in this instance, I want a staircase. So if you take your planks, and this time if you right click, sorry, not like that. Let me just, it's because we have a plank, it's because we have a ramp in already. So if you just right click now, you can see it's actually going from there to there. So it's going from ramp to staircase. So we want a staircase, just like that. Then any subsequent ones that you place in will also be part of the staircase. Really, really simple to do. Nice and easy. So I think we just need one more. Actually, is that done? I might need one more plank. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, last plank. So there is our staircase. Really good. So I think now we're going to work on the support pillars for the inside, and we'll probably just finish off the porch at the front. Kelvin, you've got work to do. So what you would do here, you basically want to just allow your structure to take shape once again. So we're going to get support pillars in all around the outside. And you'll kind of get a visual representation of what we're working on. So even at the front here. So there's the outside done. So now, just going to place more on the inside. So we can see where the porch is going to be now. This strip here. And this is all going to be inside the log cabin itself. So what I'm actually going to do first, I think I'm going to just get the porch done. So the front is taking shape. So this bit is going to be roofed quite low. We're going to have a flat roof here. So what we're going to do, we're going to get some support beams in so we can actually work on the roof for this. So just fill in all these gaps, as we did before for the floor. Going to have the front door to the log cabin here as well. So later on we're going to have logs all the way stacked up here. Here we're going to do probably a stick fence though, so we can enjoy the view, have it nice and open. Lovely, all those beams are in. So let's get cracking on the roof of the porch now. So you can actually do this from down here as well. So if you, again, you can just look up, which is really useful, and you can just make blanks from down here and they will automatically go on. So we're going to just go all the way around now, all the way down the porch, and do the same thing. These ones on the end can be tricky to get the right angle. Just have a walk around. There we go. About there. Wonderful. We have a visitor. I feel like I'm being judged as I'm working now. Lovely. So there we go. We can kind of see it taking shape now. So I'm going to have some stick fences around here, which I think I'll do later as part of the finishing touches. Now it's time to actually get the shape of the cabin itself going. So we're going to do the outside wall. Just fill it all in. And it'll really start to take shape more than ever once this is done. So just start piling them up here. We're going to need, once again, a heck of a lot of logs. Looking good though. Yeah, this will be the front door. I think we'll do exactly that now. So if you see these red little blocks when you look at different pieces, you can actually make window pieces if you want to do this. Have windows wherever you like. Or what you can do, you can actually carve out the shape of a door. So you want this to be 5 high for a door. Beautiful. So now get some spare planks if you have any from before. And you actually just slot these in here for the door itself. So we're going to need a log just to get the last 2 planks here. And voila, we have a door. So let's just carry on doing all the wall for now. I thought I noticed something. Our friend has found a way up, overseeing the work, making sure it's going well. And before we do reach the top here, we're actually gonna just put in these for support. Once they're in, you can just carry on building straight up to those, just as before, like that. Filling in those gaps. So we'll do the same all the way around now, just fill in these gaps. Last piece. That's the wall done. Amazing. So, yep, really taking shape. You can see exactly what we're doing now, very clearly. So now we need to work on the roof. So first of all, we're going to get some support pillars in the middle. But I am going to just show you how to use struts as well, so that you don't have to keep all these pillars in, because they will take up a lot of room in your building. But yeah, I will show you how you can remove these, because it's a question that I get asked a lot. They are a bit confusing at first to get your head around, but it's actually quite simple once you realise how they work. So we have 2 options now. What we could do one long beam all the way down here for support of the roof. Alternatively, we could do a lot of small beams going this way. From here to here, here to here, and here to here. I honestly think that will look better. Loads of small beams going this way, vertically across the log cabin. However, for the purpose of showing you how struts work, I'm just going to do a little experiment. I'm just going to do a beam the other way. Rightio, so there's our beam. Now onto the good stuff. So you'll notice that if you try and dismantle some of these, you can actually remove them at the moment, which means it's safe to remove. If it's not safe to remove, you won't be able to wiggle it. So you can remove this one. You can remove this one. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, okay. This pillar, however, it's not letting me remove it. And notice there's a red cross at the bottom. This one I can remove. Okay, so why can't I remove this one? Because the whole thing will collapse. So definitely use dismantle. If I hack this down with my axe instead, the roof will collapse, which will be a big shame if you've actually done more work on the roof. The whole thing will probably come down on you. Listen to the dismantle system. So, how we get around this? If you've got some of those half logs from before, amazing. If not, just take a regular old log and chop it in half down the middle. See that red dashed line there? You can do this. So what you would do is come to the corner and you will notice this symbol here where the arrow kind of curves around. So this is the struts that we're going to put in. You can also put them in here, but we want to remove that pillar. So we're going to do it in the corner. And that is going to reinforce the heck out of this. You can also do it here as well. You notice the beam kind of like props up a little bit as well, kind of straightens up. So now we have the supports in the corner. That's going to provide a lot of structural integrity to the point where we can now actually remove this and you have loads more room to build inside your base. So even if you're doing a different structure with a bit of a bigger base maybe, you've got loads of pillars in the middle, have an experiment with struts at either end. Hey Calvin, I need that log. But yeah, have an experiment with struts just like this and you can actually free up a lot of room inside your base. But this isn't what I want to do because I want beams to go the other way, like I said, vertically. So I'm just going to put these back in. Kelvin, can I have my log back? Silly Kelvin. Just like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to remove the struts in this instance. And what we're going to do, we're going to change the beam direction. We're going to have it going this way instead. I think it's going to look a lot nicer in this cabin. So now that these are back in, we can apply a similar principle here. So in this instance, can actually remove these because they're not long beams. So we don't actually need struts to support this without the pillar. However, if the log cabin was a bit deeper, we would definitely need some struts. For good practice and for aesthetics, I am going to put struts in the corner. You can see that once again, it does kind of prop up the logs. So as we build the roof, we might actually need these, to be honest. Definitely good practice getting into the habit of using those. Now we can remove this. We can remove these logs. Just throw that back on the pile for now. So loads of the half logs from before I am going to use for struts. It's good. We're getting to use those at least. They were kind of cluttering my base. Remove this pillar. Rinse and repeat all the way down. Lovely. Remove the last beam. And fantastic. I think that looks great. These are good because you can also hang lights down from them. Sometimes they might hit your head though if it's a bit low. So it's up to you if you want to make the wall a bit higher. But yeah, so for this one, I'm not actually going to do a roof like this. Because I want it nice and open above me. I want it nice and spacious inside. Get some nice light in as well. Natural light from outside. So tomorrow we're going to work on the roof. I'm just going to get some sleep because it's going dark. Start fresh in the morning. So let's have a look at this roof then. So what we're going to want to do, we're actually going to want to get up here, obviously. So the best way to do this, in my opinion, for this section, is just make a little ramp. Make a makeshift ramp to get up. Let's try a half log. Then we're going to connect a beam like this, and then we can just jump up here and just run up. It's a makeshift easy ramp. So for the roof, you have some different options. So first of all, we're going to have a slanted roof. So it's going to slant up to here. So we're going to get the beams in the middle like this. The slant is going to go like this and then down there. So you can actually change the angle of your slant as well. I personally think... Oh, try again. I personally think this is going to be maybe a bit too much of a steep slant for my taste. So what I could do, I'm just going to do a test. So how low can we chop this one? You could have a very low roof like this. Obviously, I think that would be a bit too low. I'm going to try a half. I'm going to test a 3/4. And I'm going to get some beams on. So this is going to be a bit of a test roof now. And I'm going to just see how I feel about this. I still think this one looks a bit low for my personal taste. So this bit is great because it's just whatever you prefer. Just chop it down to whatever height you think would look good. So there we go, we can kind of see how the roof would take shape. I personally like the middle one, which was the 3/4 log. So then we'll put you back in. I'm going to chop you down to 3/4. And I'm going to do the same all the way around. You could also put one here. And then do a beam like this, if you want a bit of a different shape for your roof. In this case, I think I won't. I'm just going to do it like this one here. But feel free to experiment with some different styles, see what you like the look of. Lovely, now that's done, we're just going to do the same on the other end, so you can walk across this one, place it straight down, rinse and repeat. Absolutely fantastic, looking good. So whatever roof style you've chosen to do, the next step would be to get some more beams for support, and just place these down the middle. Right, there we go. So now it's time to get some roof panels in. Might take a while this, but I'll show you how to get started. So, just as before where you place planks, obviously don't place them here at the bottom. You can if you want, but if you want it nice and open, just make sure you look up here till you're actually along this part of the roof. Break them into planks. And I think you get the point here, so that's it, all the way down. We're just going to fill in all of these on both sides. Just be careful here, don't fall down the gap. Fantastic, it's cool now that you can see the roof really taking shape on this part. You can actually run over both ends. Now that the roof is nearly finished and we're nearly done with the cabin itself, you can actually get a good idea of how much of the forest we've actually had to clear to make this. Wonder how many logs we've used up here. Wonderful, there you go. So the outside is fully done. The roof is complete, looking good. We'll have to go inside, see how it looks as well. Bloody wonderful. There you go, it's nice and cozy inside. You can't fill these in properly. I'm going to show you actually. I'm hoping we'll be able to fill in the gables in the future, so what I'm going to do is probably just move this around. This wind is ferocious again. So what you can do, you can place some of these down to try and fill in the gap. They don't work, no matter what length you try. I've tried them all. There's either a gap in the middle, or they will overhang on the outside and look horrible. So at the moment, it is best to just leave them open. This is what happens if you try and put a log down. It overhangs on the outside, just looks awful. You could try a half log. I'll show you what this one does on the other end. You have this gap in the middle, just doesn't look great, does it? So, in my opinion, it is best to just leave the gables open at the moment. It's kind of nice actually, you get some natural light inside. Hopefully in the future they will add a way to be able to fill these in though. So the next step, we're going to get some furniture inside and finish the fence here, because I'm not done out here. Let me show you how to make a stick fence. I just think it adds a nice little touch, adds a little barrier as well so you can't fall out. So if you just change over by right clicking to make a fence post instead, do it quite close to the edge if you can, plop it in. So again, use the dash lines as a little guide. And then because we can't place one here because it would be off the edge, just follow the dash lines down until it's kind of back here. That's it, get it down. You can even do these through these posts, which is good. And that's actually ended up quite perfect right by my staircase. Same thing again on this side, so start in the corner. And perfect. Right at the edge again. So what we're going to do now, if you actually just look between your posts that you placed, you can actually place two sticks, which will make a fence. So we're just going to go all the way around now. Fill in the fence. Just going to make it look a bit nicer. Like, once again, you can even do these through your support pillars. We're out of sticks. Go get some more. And voila. Let's have a look from the front. Yeah, looks really good. So we'll put some chairs in. There's one. We'll do one over here too. I think this one maybe will face the lake and the beautiful mountain view. Look at that. Glorious. So I think we'll do this one over here right at the end. Let's have a sit down. Ah, wonderful. Now let's do a bit of furniture inside. It's kind of dark, so we'll get some torches set up at some point. The kind of furniture you can do inside though, let's get a bed in first of all. I think for this one I might do the table against the wall and just have a bench here. I like to do a mannequin, currently just for aesthetics though, not something you can actually use. Might do a shelf in this corner. Just trying to get it parallel with the wall. That's good enough for me. Get another shelf in over here. What you can actually do as well, wall shelves. Put some of these in. And I think we'll just put in another chair in the middle. Bit of a throne as you walk in. That should do for now. Nice and furnished. So we're going to need a lot of sticks and a lot of logs. Let's get cracking. I'll show you how to use these shelves in a little bit as well. They're not just for looks. They're actually very useful. There's our mannequin. Finish up the bed. And we'll get some lights in, and we're pretty much done then. Lovely, there's all our furniture. In terms of lighting, you have a few different options. If I can remember where the lighting is, hang on. Here we go. So bone chandeliers are actually quite bright, really cool. What I could do actually, I could make a ceiling skull lamp. So you could do it here, but it might be a bit low. So it's completely up to you if you want to put it on the upper beam instead. If you jump up here, you should be able to place it. I think we'll get one of them in at least. Jump up and put a skull on. I think I have 3 skulls, so I could do more if I wanted to. I think we'll have one in the middle for now, though. So wall torches. How many pieces of cloth do I have? Just seeing how many I can get away with. 7. Okay, we'll space them out well then. So we'll put one here. We'll just dot a few around. Maybe one by the bed. There we go. So that'll do for now, for lighting inside. Could also do some outside. Do one here for now. Wonderful. So now I'm just going to tidy up outside. That's the cabin pretty much complete. Another final touch quickly. It is kind of going dark, so I'm going to get this in quick. There they are under utility. I'm going to do a rock path here, just leading away. I think that'll look quite nice. Of course, when you have more of a base, you can connect it all up. Make it look really good. Let's get some rocks in. But for now, I've just got this cabin. Wonderful, that looks great. You can also put some standing torches outside should you wish. But before I forget, I just want to show you how to use shelves quickly, my bad. So, wall shelves, you basically have different categories here. So you can throw loads of tarp on this one, your skulls, etc. You just press R to cycle categories. So this one, we could have meds and energy related stuff, etc. You get the point. So here it is, the final product. I'm just going to do a circle all the way around. Really happy with how this turned out. Yeah, hopefully in the future we can fill in the gables. Here's the back end. Absolutely gorgeous view by the lake. Really picturesque location. Don't mind that in the water. Love the fences here on the porch with the chairs. Again, you can flesh this out with more lights, whatever you want. Here's the roof. And inside, once again, go crazy with the lighting, different furniture combinations, etc., different placements. Could even try the beam the other way, should you wish. But this is a very functional, basic cabin that did not take too long to make. Hope that's helped you anyway. I'll quickly show you my other cabin that's very similar, in the same place actually, just a little bit different. I'll just hop over to that save file. So here we are on my other save file. Just show you the rest of my base really quickly. Got some nice fortifications at the front. I've got this little entrance here. Got some ramparts here where you can defend from. That's my main entrance. Got a lookout tower. Here we've got a little shelter with loads of supplies in. Sticks, rocks, bones, etc. My wall swings around here. Got some of my log holders. And here is my cabin. So very similar as you can see. Virginia, you're right down there. Yeah, here's my cabin. So this one's a bit different because I had some wall planters. All my plants are ready as well. Got some of these on the front. Got some more lights. Got some different furniture inside as well. Also the porch outside is a little bit different. I swung it all the way around. Kind of overhangs the lake, making for an even more gorgeous view. There's the sun rising. Beautiful dawn. I'll show you inside. Furniture's a little bit different. So what I've done here, I've got my bone throne as you come in. Loads more bones and skulls on this playthrough. There's my chandelier. Like I said, they're really bright. They're good. So we have our shelves are pretty stacked up here compared to my other one. Loads of supplies, my bed. Similar as you can see though, made a bit of a bigger dining area with 2 benches here. But yeah, very similar design. With a few changes here and there. So that's it. That's how to make a lakeside log cabin. Very cozy and furnished. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I know the new building system might take a little bit of getting used to, but I really enjoy it. Now that I've got the hang of it, excited to get into some more complicated builds in the future. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.